I'm Maggie Boland, Signature's Managing Director. Thanks for joining us for the latest episode of The Signature Show. We're beginning this week's episode with a special reunion. In 2014, Signature presented the world premiere of Diner by Sheryl Crow and Barry Levinson, directed and choreographed by Kathleen Marshall. Adapted from the landmark film, this musical tells the story of a group of friends who reunite for one of their weddings. At their local all-night hometown diner, these friends confront the realities of adulthood as they cling to the past. Recently, Signature's Associate Artistic Director, Matthew Gardner, got to sit down and discuss the project with some of its stars, Erica Henningsen, Derek Klena, and Matthew James Thomas.
Record. All right, guys, so Diner had its world premiere at Signature in 2014. It was a huge hit for us, packed, sold-out houses the entire run. What do you think was the reason for Diner being such a hit?
I think the film has such a strong following. I think people definitely know it and love it, and it's such a character-driven story that I think people were excited to see with Sheryl Crow's music. She did such an amazing job of writing this great period score that we all were so lucky to sing. So I think it was a combination of both of those worlds colliding.
I think the idea of Sheryl's music in that era was something really exciting. That's what captivated me too. And incidentally, what was so fabulous about that show.
I just remember doing a read-through of it the first time, and we had all just met one another, and the chemistry of those six friends, and then even the relationships that the men had with their spouses or partners, on the table read, because of Barry Levinson's script, it came to life. We didn't even have to do anything. And then on top of that, when we did bond as a cast, it was just you enjoyed watching the show because you enjoyed watching these kids become adults and figure out what does friendship mean when we enter into that next phase.
You have Sheryl Crow, who's at the top of her game in the music business. You have Barry Levinson, who's the top of his game in the film world. And now here they are writing a musical for the first time. What is their vibe like in a room? What was it like doing a piece written by?
It was so fun. They would just goof around a lot too. They were so goofy.
Okay, I mean, at first I was a little intimidated, to be honest. I was a little intimidated, especially in front of Barry, because he's kind of a softer spoken guy. He keeps a lot of he keeps his cards close to his chest. So it's hard to get a read on him as much. But I think we just had to trust that we got cast for a reason. We were in that room because we reminded him most of these iconic characters that he wrote. Sheryl was super cool. I thought I was going to be intimidated meeting her, but the moment she walked into the room, she was so warm, so supportive, was so excited about the project, was so complimentary to us. So I think that also kind of broke the ice in such an amazing way, and therefore kind of lightened up the room early on. But initially I was kind of intimidated.
It was my first, it was one of my first really big jobs out of school. In fact, it was the first big job out of school. So I think ignorance is a little bit of bliss, because that time I was this is so fun. And then I think now if I had to go back in a room, knowing just what I have learned with Sheryl and Barry, I think I would be oh my God, what am I doing here?
I think they created a very permissive environment for us. And I think Barry does that, with his screenwriting. It's that's different, working in shows where everything's very specific and the lines are what they are and nobody wants anything to change. Barry was very experimental. He often gave us the chance to move things around, as did Sheryl with the music. So to have that relationship and the presence, to be so present with your creatives in an environment like that was very new. And I think it did what it was supposed to do with the original movie. It put everybody right in the moment.
All three of you have a lot of experience doing musical adaptations of films. Yeah? Recently Erica doing Mean Girls, Derek doing Dogfight and Anastasia, and then Matthew James taking on a pop culture phenomenon of Spider-Man. Do the films or the source material sort of influence how you approach these characters, or are you just looking at the script and the work that's in front of you?
How could it not, when you're taking on Kevin Bacon's, I mean, yeah, somewhat, but it's a new experience for sure. But to know that somebody, you know, in my case with Fenwick, you know, that somebody of that note had been in that role was again another level of excitement.
Mickey Rourke's performance was so iconic, and you kind of have to take those performances and, you know, tip your hat to them, and also, but mainly just focus on the characteristics that they brought to the role that made those roles iconic and which made them specific to the group of people that they were in. And in a lot of the dialogue and iconic scenes that were in the film were also in the show, so it's hard to stray from these amazing performances and what they did so well. So you take a little bit from there and try to make it your own.
The biggest thing that I took from the source material of the movie was I guess the style. And I think that was something we all talked about, of the way these people talk. And I don't just mean dialect, but the way that they interacted, and the way, because Barry gave birth to like sort of the mumblecore sort of idea. And that, yes, we were on stage, but that snappiness still needed to be there, even if we were projecting to the back of the house.
I feel like in the musical, the female characters were much more fleshed out than they were in the film.
I think that was definitely what Barry wanted to do differently, but I think also the addition of Cheryl, like how could Cheryl not write incredible songs for females? So then we also had to sort of flesh those women out. I think Tear Down This House is still one of my favorite songs I've ever sung on stage.
Oh, good, Erica. That song.
It's such a great song. It's just amazing.
I talk about the music in the show all the time because I don't know that I've heard anything like it ever. And in that she wrote music that sounded like it had been, you know, written in the 50s. It was incredible.
I haven't really heard any other pop writers write stuff that was so good and so catchy and yet so character driven at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Steiner.
We knew it was special. I remember listening. I can't remember this, but I was listening to, what was that called? That song? Was it called Wise Men? It was called Fenwick's Song, I think. At the end.
Yeah.
And I would just get so excited about it. I remember when I heard the original demos before I went into audition at Telsey. Was it Telsey? Yeah. And I just got so excited about like literally tearing up that room in the audition. And I did. And I set myself a little. I think I got like everyone's sheets and like threw them in the air or something. Like, well,
anytime Matt has the opportunity just to tear the room apart, and it's just he jumps at that.
And that was the role for it, you know.
That rehearsal was like a hurricane. You never knew what he was gonna do.
Signature Theater was such a great home for this, and for a show that is this type of show where it focuses on all these relationships, it was the perfect setting for all of us to kind of get along, you know, living together, rehearsing together. We got to know each other so well, and I think that is some of like my favorite memories of this is connecting to these guys, and in our cast, we had such a close-knit cast, and I think that helped this story translate on stage and strengthen those relationships on stage as well.
I have so many memories. I loved Signature so much.
Yeah.
It was just so special because there was like, Signature is just a beautiful space. It just was kind of, I think, for all of us, we were away from our families, and yet in the course of a month of being in Arlington, sort of had this new family.
We had so much fun on that show, and it did translate to the audience, and you could feel that. And I think we just wanted to, I mean, I speak for everybody, I guess, but like, we wanted to keep doing it. We wanted to keep fleshing it out, keep finding it. And it was I think it was there, if not really close to being there. So yeah, that I would just say that out loud. Like, I wish that there was more from it.
Putting it out into the world.
Yeah.
We'll do it again.
A Signature socially distanced diner.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you, Erica and Derek and Matthew James, for having this conversation with me and reliving the memory of Diner at Signature Theater.
Thanks so much for having us.
Hi, I'm Ann Nesmith. I'm a Washington, D.C. based wig designer. I've had the great fortune of having designed 33 shows at the Signature Theater over the past 12 years. This is a wig I designed and built for the amazing Nancy Anderson in 2018's Billy Elliot, directed by Matthew Gardner. Costume design was by Kathleen Geldard. Let's see how she got there. Here's a picture of Nancy looking way cuter in that wig.
Once we have settled on the design of the show, my next steps become working on the physical creation of the wigs. In this case, it was a fully hand-tied or ventilated wig made from human hair. Because it's made from human hair, it will then react just like human hair would. And again, in this case, it's a slightly waved, processed blonde hair, but it will set with water and rollers, as is happening in this picture. This wig actually has a wefted back, but same thing. It goes in rollers, goes in the wig dryer. Then, fresh out of the wig dryer, the wig gets her comb out. Here she goes into a little subtle Billy Elliot style. And from here, this wig would go into a fitting, or once we've gotten through all of that, she'd be ready to go directly on stage. Quick spin, see how she's doing. A fully hand-tied wig can take as many as 40 hours to build. We'll have 3, maybe 4 fittings. If we're lucky, during the rehearsal period, a week of technical rehearsals, a week or 2 of previews before opening. It can be a very long process, and the work is quite detailed and delicate. And wigs are the icing on the cake. They have a huge impact on the total look of the show and the design of the full piece.
There's a very quick theatrical wigs primer. Thanks. See you soon in the theater.
Hello, I'm playwright Rahima Rice. Recently, Signature presented a reading of my new play, At the Full Yum, as part of their SigWorks Monday Night Reading Series. This series recently moved online and highlights new plays by DC area playwrights. 4 plays are selected each year, and I'm honored that my play was included this season. While the live event has passed, you can still check out At the Full Yum on Signature's YouTube page for the next 2 weeks. The reading includes a talkback with myself and director Jared Schamberger, led by the wonderful Farrah Lawal Harris. You have until October 12th to check it out.
Hi, my name is Kelly D'Amboise, and I am Artistic Associate and Resident Casting Director at Signature. I've choreographed several shows at Signature over the years as well, but in 2016, I was the associate choreographer to Matt Gardner on one of my most favorite shows, La Cage à Folles. La Cage is a perfect musical comedy about love and family and inclusivity and just loving who you are. I think it's actually a perfect show for the times that we're living in right now. It's got so much heart, And I come back to it time and time again. It's just a wonderful show created by the great Jerry Herman, whom I often think about in terms of just being the quintessential creator of audible glitter, and of course, the amazing Harvey Fierstein. We had an amazing cast led by the illustrious Bobby Smith and the fabulous Brent Barrett. And one of my favorite moments in this show, I used to sit up in the dress circle during previews and watch Brent come onto the stage and sing Song in the Sand, a song about love to his lover, Alban, in the show, that his character George sang about when they first met and about what that love was like. And it's a song about the evolution of love and time and humanity. And I just used to think, this is just kind of perfect. It's dreamy and it's perfect. I hope you'll agree. Enjoy.
Do you recall the windy little beach we walked along? That afternoon in fall, that afternoon we met. A fellow with a concertina sang, what was the song? It's strange what we recall, and odd what we forget. I heard la-da-da-da-da-da as we walked on the sand. I heard la-da-da-da, I believe it was early September. Through the crash of the waves, I could tell that the words were romantic. Something about sharing, something about always. Though the years race along, I still think of our song on the sand. And I still try and search for the words I can barely remember. Though the time tumbles by, there is one thing that I am forever certain of. I hear and I'm young and in love. I believe it was early September. Through the crash of the waves, I could tell that the words were romantic. Something about sharing, something about always. Though the years race along, I still think of our song on the sand. And I still try and search for the words I can barely remember. Though the time tumbles by, there is one thing that I am forever certain of. I hear la-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm young and in love.
Overtures, Crossing, Ugly, Holiday Follies, Motown the Reprise, Spunk, Blowin' in the Wind, The Folk Cabaret. Overtures was, I believe, the foundation for me to begin my journey in musical theater. I just found it really rewarding in a way where I could just show up as myself, show up as who I am every day, and just learn from these teachers and also the students. You know, you're with these, 12 people every day, 14 people every day. You grow very close very quickly because you're seeing everyone's strong suits and weaknesses, and you're encouraging everyone and building each other up and just supporting each other in a very vulnerable state for many hours every day. it was a great stepping stone to, I guess, Crossing, and then the rest of my career following that. One of the highlights of working on Crossing was to be able to sing alongside and work with Nova Payton. To be able to hear that vibration right next to you is otherworldly. And to collaborate and harmonize with her and to hold hands with her and to tell this American Black story was really profound. And it's just a very moving moment. So I was very grateful to be able to sing with her. I had the pleasure of working with Darius Smith on his musical UGLY. He's a genius, and that music is brilliant and perfect, and that story was funny and moving, and I relate to it so much. And to collaborate with these amazing Black actors was honestly the highlight of my career. I was in a production called Spunk at Signature Theater, directed by Timothy Douglas, who is a genius. He has great leadership, but also wants to hold hands and work as a group and figure out how to tell a story together, which is really beautiful. It was definitely a life-changing experience and extremely rewarding. It was one of my favorite shows I've ever done. I've done quite a few cabarets at Signature. I think that's where I feel most comfortable because I see myself as a musician primarily. I will say I think my favorite cabaret that I ever did was with Robbie Schaefer, the Blown in the Wind cabaret. To be able to sing folk music, I never get to do, and it feels like home to me. So to have that opportunity, despite what he heard me sing in the past, and just trusting me and us being able to collaborate together was a dream come true. What's special to me about Signature is I always felt like I could be myself there. Maybe because I did overtures there and it was so vulnerable already that being able to do that made me feel like, okay, I can be myself. Like, I don't have to put on, they've seen me at my worst. Like, it's not a big deal. It just feels like family there. It feels like home. So during quarantine, I learned how to play guitar, and I've been focusing more on female artists that primarily play guitar, like Yola and Her. So I've been really moved by this song, and I learned it on guitar, and I wanted to continue to share Black female artists' music. So this is called Hard Place by Her.
Wanna believe what you say, but I hate you on most days. You've been testing my faith, my patience, and I know that I'll be headstrong, but you know that you be dead wrong, telling me to relax. I'm reacting, but I'd rather fight than lose sleep at night. At least you're all mine. I had to choose my heart or you, then I'm gonna lose, yeah. But if nothing ever will change, oh, I'm caught between your love and a hard place. Oh, I wish there was a right way. I'm caught between your love and a hard place. Oh, oh, do I even have a choice when gonna have to pick my poison? Boy, you hurt me so good, so good. tears. You're the one who wiped them away. Baby, that's the reason I'll stay, I'll stay, I'll stay. But I'd rather fight than lose sleep at night. At least you're all mine. I had to choose my heart or you, but I'm gonna lose, yeah. What if nothing ever will change? Oh, I'm caught between your love and a hard place. Oh, I wish there was a right way. I'm caught between your love and a hard place. Oh, yeah, oh, what if nothing ever will change? Oh, I'm caught between your love and a hard place.
Hey y'all, I'm Celie Niehaus,
And I'm Tabitha Niehaus.
and we're proud to share that we've been supporting Signature Theater since the 2011-2012 season.
It was love at first sight.
And we continue to support Signature Theater because it's a magical place like no other.
Signature Theater entices you into the world of the show from the moment you enter the lobby. And then it's up the stairs to Allie's bar for a show-themed cocktail.
Oh, we would never do that.
Signature has given us not only amazing shows, but also a true sense of belonging.
And we feel the love from our Signature family, even though now we are miles away.
In 2013, Signature Theater presented Dreamgirls, starring one of our favorite performers, Nova Payton.
Here to recreate one of the iconic numbers from the show is the incomparable Cedric Neal. Enjoy!
13 years of solid gold platters, yeah. Rising costs and cocktail chatter. Fat DJs, stereophonic sound, oh baby. The game of a hits goes around and around, but you can fake your way to the top. Round and around, try that what, baby?
Round and around.
Fake your way to the top.
Round and around.
Oh, you just feel right in there, sweetheart. You can fake your way to the top. Oh, hell, I knew you had it. But it's always real, so real.
Always so real.
That's it. When you're coming down. Help me, Jesus.
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 Help me, Jesus. Look back, look back, back to number one. Back to number one. Listen here. I know what's happening. I've been around, faking my way through every time. I made my living off of my sound, and the
thank you for watching this week's episode of The Signature Show and for being part of the Signature family. We'll be back in October with a brand new episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for alerts about new episodes. And be sure to check out the latest we're offering in virtual masterclasses, including classes for theater lovers, students, and professionals alike. Coming up, you can dance with A Chorus Line's Jeff Gordy, build a character with Passion's Natasha Diaz, and much more. Get all the details at our website, sigtheater.org. And until next time, stay safe. I hope to see you all soon.